Ready?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of this is not in Winnie's World. Let me start over. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sidebar with Winnie and Catherine. I'm Winnie, that's Catherine. We have so much to chat about today. Some local stuff, some crime drama, which is our big thing that we do here. But let's start where I've been wanting to talk about for the last few weeks and we have not gotten to it. Is Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I'm obsessed. I got Peacock specifically for this. Oh my god, yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I know, isn't it so funny? Like the real, like actual TV has like gone the way of, because it's like who actually watches anything on Bravo itself anymore? Now everything's on Peacock.
Deck again. I used to watch when I was at my parents' house. We would watch. We were like a Bravo household, but it was more my mom and my sister.
Yeah.
And I would just like come in and out. I was never a big Housewives person, but they are. The Real Housewives of Rhode Island are just literally killing it.
I am sort of obsessed with the resurgence and how good they've done at bringing back like a city where it's very different. You're state, right. Because most of the time when they do the Real Housewives, but there has been such like a lack of that kind of stuff. And like you said, it's always been targeted sort of my demographic. So I'm 42, and for a while it's gotten a little like old. It's like, and I tell you, I'm so obsessed. It's so good because I think there's just so many real storylines and it's like bringing the drama right away. And it doesn't feel like, to me, super manufactured drama. Yeah. I mean, some of it a little bit is, but so where do we leave off? Like, when was the last time we checked in on it?
Oh, I honestly can't remember because it's been so much drama since then. But the most recent episode that just dropped was the big fight between Rosie and Kelsey.
Oh my God.
Now, I have said this before. Rosie and I are like 6 degrees of separation. We know a lot of the same people. We worked at the same place.
Right.
I never really worked with her or really knew her, but I knew of her. And she went to do TV in Rhode Island, but I believe she's from Milton. She's married to a guy that we all used to work at the same place. And so, anyways, I know of her, and I knew of Ashley from The Bachelor, but I obviously didn't know any of the. Most of the other women had like no followers. They weren't social media people. No. Ashley I was really the social media draw, and I gotta say, she's actually the least impactful, I think, of all of them. Yeah. Their drama's not that I want people to have drama in their lives, but it's all about the coffee shop. And
she's very like she's in like Bachelor world, and I feel like the worlds that you're in reality TV sort of like, some of them fit in certain worlds and some of them don't. You know what I mean? So you have like the offshoots of the traders and the Big Brothers and all that kind of stuff. And in The Bachelor, even though there's drama there, it's not the same kind of drama as like Housewives. So like even at dinner when Ashley's like, can't we just like, can we not fight? Can we not? I'm like, bitch, you know what show you're on?
And she's crying all the time. And she seems empathetic, obviously. But
I definitely like her, but she's not.
You know what? I'm actually liking her. I actually like her less after this episode we just saw, where she didn't get much airtime. It was just about how she wants Jared, her husband, to do more
promotions and content.
On Instagram, and that's just not his personality. There's a lot of people that have a large following on social media that don't use it for those. They don't have brand deals.
Right.
They don't want them. They don't want them. Like, there's a lot of people that they're just, whether they're like a politician or a reality person or an athlete or just a well-known human that make their money other places, and they might use it to advertise their businesses, but they don't do a lot of brand deals. Right. And Ashley I is making a lot of money, as she let us know, doing brand deals on social media, which is great for her, but that is a very big space for women. Yes. Like content creation and those spaces, it's huge for women. There are men that take advantage of it, but some men don't want to do the post. They don't want to. No. They want to post when they feel like it, when they want to do it. And Jared has a passion for the restaurant life. He was a restaurant manager before he was on The Bachelor.
And obviously he wants to be a little bit out of that world. I mean, not so much because obviously they're on a new show. Right, but he chose, and they're in that. But like
when the iron was hot for them, like when they got married, when they were on like The Bachelor, like in Paradise. Yeah. When he could have taken way more advantage of that. Yeah. No, he decided to stay in Rhode Island. Yeah. Keep working, open a show. Like he didn't want that lifestyle, and a lot of people don't. And I think she found a way to make it her full-time career,
right?
Which is great, but I think it's okay for him to just want to own a business,
right?
And owning a business is, you know, a lot of work. It's hard, and even if you're not, you know, in the red, you might not be super lucrative.
Yeah.
I think, and so if he can not be in the red and she can make a lot of money doing what she's doing, why does she need to push this on him? Because she even said, "Well, I don't need his little money anyways."
Yeah, right.
And I'm like,
I know
okay,
it's funny because like I see them together, and you know they don't shoot them together that much, but she seems fairly, you know. Also, you have to remember they have young kids; they're like in the thick of it. But I can imagine that he probably looks at things too, like, you know, is this what's more sustainable long term to like build a business?
There's a fly.
We open the door, there's a fly, we're kicking it out. To sustain a business, maybe grow something, because, you know, at some point, what besides brand deals, like what is Ashley that's gonna dry up at some point, because it's not like, I mean, that's the interesting thing about people who are just like full on, just influencers. It's like, you can't do that forever. I mean, unless you transition it into something.
You can, but most people, they start that way and then they use it to help fund other projects.
Right.
That's what you have to do, because that's where you can become, like, for instance, like Michaela, that's from the area. She's a big makeup influencer on TikTok. She has now skincare products and all these things. She's making brands that are going to last way beyond, you know, social media
own stuff.
Right, and that's what you have to do. Whereas Ashley, I feel like she probably doesn't think like long term in that.
Right, and he's probably more of like a thoughtful, like, well, I'm thinking.
So yeah,
you
so
know.
I don't know. I didn't really like the way she was talking about her husband, who, like, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really like it, and I don't really think she brings much. If they got rid of her, I don't think I would miss it.
Yeah, no.
But Rosie, literally, her fight, the whole thing was really, for me, was the fight between the two, Kelsey and Rosie. Kelsey came to her house. Right?
Yeah.
Which I don't know if they had been past it, or if they were closer. But they had if they only filmed together and they don't really hang out outside of filming.
Yeah.
The last time we saw them, they made up, and then that was it.
Yeah.
So you coming to her house with a siren and yelling like the house police, the house inside her neighborhood, was so distasteful. And then when Rosie didn't meet her with malice, Rosie kind of was like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. And then she was like, she took a beat. She didn't like get on her right away. Yeah. She let her come in the house. Yeah. They were talking. She said, "I don't know why you think that's funny." And Kelsey never apologized. No. She never said, "Oh, I didn't think you, like, maybe you didn't think it was funny. Like, I'm sorry. I thought it was funny." It was like, "It's funny, laugh." Haha. And that's where Kelsey was like, "Fuck you."
Rosie.
And Rosie went in on her and ate her up.
She did.
She was like, "You don't have a husband. You don't have a house. You don't have a job. Blah, blah, blah. You suck dick for a living. That's not." And I'm like, "You didn't even win the pageant on your own. You're sugar daddy people.
Pay for it."
And so then she, "Get out of my house. Get out of my house." And she's screaming at her, and she takes her little bland bag. And literally, Kelsey's trying to take it back, and she rips it out of her, brings it outside, "Get out of my house," like, good for you. Then, I don't know why the production people opened her house back up. Yeah. They opened the door up for her to come back in, and then she goes, "By the way, Rosie, I won." Like, this is pure pageant, girl. I won that pageant fair and square. That was 10 years ago, bitch.
I was like, oh,
you were like
that's
20.
an insecurity.
You're
that must have been
30
talked
years
about
old,
before.
and you're like, "I won that pageant fair and square."
Well, you know, it's like, it's funny because you go backwards, like you were saying. I can understand that, like, on the very front end, because I saw all the clips, whatever. So I was like, I'm dying to see like what prompts the fight or whatever. And when I first watched it, you know, I get that kind of humor. Like, I do think, she's trying to be like Kelsey coming in, like, trying to be that. Like, so I was like, okay, I get it. But then if the person on the other side doesn't, and like you said, it's more, if you were kind of a little bit more past it, like, you're not friends anyway, like, you're only friends because you're on the show, like, you've had issues, and so, like, you're coming in hot. So if the other person, if you're trying to be funny and, like, break the ice, but then the other person doesn't take it like that, you have to be like, "Bro, I'm sorry, I was just trying to be a goof and, like, soften the mood." You could have gotten out of it, but, like, this is a woman. She's 30, 31 years old. She's like a 19-year-old still. She has no life skills. She has no ability, and, like, you know, and I don't mean that in a rude way, but, like, you went with someone who was 19 years old who was taking care of you, like, to the point that, like, you have people doing your laundry, you don't know how to pay bills, you don't know how to make money. So I also think this is like, you know, if you look at sort of the outside in, Kelsey needs this.
Yeah.
Real Housewives. Like, this is her new career. This is how, because she doesn't want to go get it. You don't think she wants to be doing hair and makeup?
No. But you know what? Rich, Rosie's husband said, which she's true. She's projecting.
Yes.
So they're similar.
1,000%.
I think out of everybody in the cast, they're similar in age.
Yes.
And Rosie spent her 20s working towards something. Whether or not you want to say, they made rumors that maybe she hooked up with bosses, or I have no idea. She's saying it didn't happen, so you have to believe her. There's been no proof that it did happen. It was all rumors. But Kelsey, there is proof that you literally have been with men, or a man at least, that had multiple partners. You were being paid essentially to be his girlfriend. You had your whole life. Now you break up and you're like, well, he's paying for my apartment. He's paying for my health insurance. He's paying for this. And now you've been another boyfriend. To have a new man and have the old man paying for it.
We need to talk about this because I'm having. Okay, so let's finish the Rosie fight first because but I want to talk about Billy too because I have thoughts on that. But the thing about the why I love that from Rosie, because I've been a little like, I don't know, I don't like it. Not that I didn't like her, but I'm like, she's not vibing, and like she was seeming to me to like try a little bit too hard and that kind of stuff. But like sometimes, when you push people, and then it's like, I'm always nice for the most part, and then like you push me, and then it's like, Rosie had all of that lined right up, like she had it in her head. You know what I mean? She like, boom. Do you have a house? Call me in your house. When you have a husband, when you can pay your own bills, when you do this, when you do that, and it's and 100% that's what Kelsey's doing on Rosie, because like you could say whatever you want, but like she's successful in her own right without a man. And so people, I think women who depend on men financially get very defensive about that. And so when they look at women who are strong and they're like, I can take care of myself, I don't need a guy. Yes, I would like a guy and that helps. Right. But like, I don't need it. That's intimidating. So like, even though Kelsey presents as like, I'm the one who's like strong and like this and that, she's really intimidated by someone like Rosie, because Rosie has worked for everything.
I know for a fact, because I know Rich, who is Rosie's husband, he was in another relationship for a long time with somebody else, and they broke up, and then kind of like pretty soon after, not soon after, but then like his next relationship was Rosie, and they got married quickly. Yeah. So like I think they've been married maybe a year and a half. They've only been together for two and a half, 3 years. Right. So Rosie into her early 30s, because she's like 34, was on her own. Right. Like
successful on her own.
Yeah, she was made her career in Rhode Island and whatever. So you want to say what you want about her, but she hasn't been with Rich terribly long. No. It was like you can look back on that. I got married in 2024 or 2020, like maybe. So I'll go look right now.
And you think about, even like you were saying, like when she comes back in, like I almost died when she ever came back in, and that's what she said. She's like, by the way, I did win that pageant fair and square. I'm like, ooh, that's a sore spot. Clearly, you would go all the way back in. I'm like, don't make yourself look like.
And her voice is shaking, and that's all she cares about. Yeah, it's the pageant.
Well, and too, I think it just goes to, because honestly, I like her in all the other scenes for the most part. Like I don't mind Kelsey, but there's clearly something about Rosie that triggers her. And like the idea that she's going at Rosie about the square footage of your house, it's like, bitch, I fucking bought my house myself with my husband. Yeah. You don't know it. You're like a little a little kid talking to me about this. Like, we're talking about grown up stuff. You've never owned anything. You've never worked. You've never paid bills. You're gonna tell me that like I don't have enough square footage. You know what I mean? I mean that would drive me up a wall. So I think it's fair for Rosie to react like that.
They got married in July of 2024. Yeah, so they have been married 2 years, and I remember that they got married within like a year of dating. Yeah. So she's done her thing. Like,
so I have seen online like rumors, and I don't know if this is true or not, about that like she and her like ex, or whoever he is, Kelsey had broken up like a while back, Rosie, and that this was all like for like a storyline.
Yes,
which would make sense, because like she needs something for the storyline. And also, I mean, Billy seems like a nice guy, but like, are you telling me like you're with this girl, you want to marry this girl, she's letting another man pay for her shit? Like, I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of respect for somebody who's. Well, why is I don't understand.
I think Billy is probably really into Kelsey, and because they've known each other.
Because she's like beautiful too,
and
so she's probably like
together.
Yeah.
So I think he's accepting that for whatever his reasoning is.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm looking. Rosie hard launched her relationship with Rich in end of 2023.
So not that long.
Right, not that long. So, anyways, but yeah. So I don't know. I feel like Billy seems like kind of less than a man, in my opinion.
I mean, he seems very nice, and he seems to really like her, but I'm like, it's a little pathetic. I don't know.
All she wants is someone to take care of her.
Yeah,
and I don't know how well Billy can do that.
Well, he's not going to be compared.
I thought he was in the union or something. I think
maybe.
That's like construction.
He probably has a good job and makes like decent middle class money, but like,
okay,
she's been
she's not even with somebody that like made okay millions. Yeah. Like they have money.
I'm confused too. I'm like thinking about this, and she's talking about we had a driver, we had our laundry done. I'm like, who lives like that in Rhode Island? Like, what people live like that in 2026 unless so you're like a king?
Yeah, we know we saw obviously, was it Rosa? I don't know the woman's name that was like lived in a housekeeper, the housekeeper.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the house. Like you said, the house is huge. Like you can't dispute that. But I don't know how much help they. I mean, apparently they had all this help. So you mean to tell me that the guy paid for all the help when he wasn't there?
That's what I mean.
Well, maybe he employs him for the year and he only uses half the year.
What a waste of money. I mean, you must have. That's what I keep thinking. I'm like, how much money do you have to spend money like that?
I don't know. And like, I mean, I know they're a big family law firm. Yeah. But I mean,
you got to be at the top of the top of the top of lawyers to be paid for.
I know, but he must
like
invest his money in things.
There has to be something else. There's definitely something else besides. Yeah.
But we'll never know.
No.
But the thing is, it's like I think they've been broken up, and that's why she had Billy ready to go.
Yeah.
And I think too, it's like the storyline. Why there was no tears? Yeah, it's just over.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's
the
very
most seamless breakup I've ever seen in my life.
No, I think it's very planned because she needs. This is the reason why. Listen, I would bet if she wasn't on the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, she would still be with him. Oh. Because this is her way. Because traditionally, what happens with like Real Housewives shows, often in relationships, like women who are in relationships that are either like on the rocks, like marriage for a long time, or you don't know where things are going. It's like this subconscious decision, or maybe conscious for some of them now, to go on the show and you kind of figure out like, okay, I can make it on my own, like I can have my own career. Because you think about a woman, really, in terms of like, you're 30 years old, you have no life skills, you have no employment history, what are you going to do to support yourself? So you're someone who's been taken care of your whole life. The only option you really have is to find another man to take care of you, or to figure out some way that you can like, you can get on TV, you can become an influencer, that kind of stuff, where you don't really need skills per se. You know what I mean? Like, because if she didn't have the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, how's she going out to make money?
Well, apparently she is now licensed to do hair and makeup.
Right, but like, you think she's going to be behind a chair in a salon?
But the thing is, if she wanted to put the work in, like, I mean, the
I don't think she does.
I don't think she wants to. Like, the glam world is, there's money to be made, like with hair and makeup and hairdressing, and like go get a chair somewhere. She could, but she's not going to be up to what her standard. Right. Once you live that life of luxury, I don't know how you
go back down to like normal. Really normal.
I don't know how you do it, because I'm like, damn, like, I looking at that, it's like, fuck. Yeah. Like, that seems like a very nice life.
Yeah.
But again, it must be lonely and boring.
I mean, I actually don't think it's that nice of a life, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't. She's probably looking at all the people she grew up with, and people getting married and having kids, and it's like, oh, now I'm 30. I have no marketability besides the fact that I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's like an insecurity in and of itself, too. Like, I think there's some women who, you can get a lot by just your looks. If you're a beautiful, thin, traditionally attractive woman, like, your looks can take you a long way. But I think there's also insecurity that comes with that like, oh, the only value I have is like on the side of a man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's got to be, and then you're around that age, your early 30s, where you're like, I gotta figure out which way I'm going, one way or the other. But yeah, she seems, the whole Rosie thing, and I thought good for Rosie, because she's been putting up with enough shit for the last couple of episodes, and it's like, yeah, well, you finally pissed her off enough, and now she just went at you in front of the whole internet and world, and everyone thinks Rosie won.
Yeah. Oh, there's been nobody. There's been no dispute.
No.
Like, it's not even like, oh, that. Like, no. Even everyone's like, I love Kelsey, but damn, she ate you up. Yeah. Like, I have not seen one thing where everyone's like, oh yeah, Kelsey won that one. Like, like Rosie, knocked her out.
Yes.
Undisputable. So there's only a few episodes left.
Yeah.
I did hear a rumor. I don't know if it's true. They're saying they're obviously filming up for the next season, but that Rosie was not included in the next season.
I can't believe that.
I can't believe that either. I don't know. I don't know. I heard that somewhere, but I'm like, I don't know if that can't be true.
I'll look. I follow a lot of Bravo pages, and I haven't seen that. But yeah. I think all of them are pretty good. It's kind of like they all have interesting storylines, but the two I think that are like the most prominent are Kelsey, Rosie right now. So like it's always good to have a feud between. There's no way they wouldn't bring Rosie back when like the two younger cast members are like feuding in a fight, and everybody's reacting. And then we have. So what do you think about Joellen and her like springing on her mother on the front steps with cameras?
I mean her mother. I feel like I actually think Joellen seems like very believable, and she seems like she has she's the most like natural, like real feeling, like looks wise. She like is very pretty, and I don't feel like she puts like as much into her looks as like some of the older women have. Yes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, like Liz, I love her, but she's all done. Oh, and even I feel like Alicia will be there in like 10 years. But like Joellen seems pretty like natural, and she seems authentic enough. Yeah. Like I thought it was. I guess for me, I'm more for the drama. Like I know the parent, like that was her trauma, and like they talked about it. My thing really is the Rula thing. To me, the real stories here are Rula and the fights between Kelsey and Rosie as of right now. Rula, I don't know if Rula is the dumbest bitch or the smartest bitch ever. Either she's using this as clear evidence for her divorce attorney, and she's the smartest bitch in the world, or she's the dumbest bitch in the world, and she is getting dragged on like national television in this relationship. Well, I can't decide.
I talked to somebody yesterday who said that they had a friend who saw her at some sort of function in Rhode Island like last weekend or whatever, and they were very much together.
Well, they were on Watch What Happens Live.
The two of them
a couple weeks ago, and they were still together. He's like, yeah, it's been a year later, and I'm still here. And Brian's a fucking liar. He's a bad liar at that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of women who will put up with a lot of stuff, and like I always try to be like, listen, you do what you want in your own relationship. It is what it is. But once you get embarrassed on TV, I feel like that's a different level. Like for me, I'd be like, well, now you were embarrassing me, and only I knew, and like people local, but now everybody knows, and I look like an idiot because it's not even like okay, we found this out and like they're gonna figure it out and they're gonna deal with it. It's like he's like actively seeing this lady. Although now, remember we had looked it up I think a couple weeks ago. I talked about it that he was being sued by the mistress. Yeah. So maybe it's like actually at this point like it's
he'll
kind
he'll find another one.
Yes,
and the thing is, her kids will see this shit one day.
Yeah, and
like,
they're little. In it
forever.
I know.
Yeah, they're like 8 and 5 or something like that. Like it's like they'll see this one day, and they'll, especially your daughter is gonna know how you took shit from her dad. I don't know. I think that Rula just looks like an idiot, and I hope it's an act, but I don't know.
Do you think Alicia's going to tell her next week?
Alicia, I like Alicia, but Alicia's hilarious. I like her. She is funny. I like her a lot. She seems like a good person, but she's almost like too like I don't want to. Like as a friend, I feel like you have. I remember I went to school with this girl. Her and I were friends all through like we met in like kindergarten, and then we were off and on like in the same class, and so in high school we were friends. We'd hang out all the time, and then we grew apart. During college, and so about maybe like in our mid-20s, I saw her. I knew who was her boyfriend because of social media. Yeah, but me and her had not hung out in like 5-6 years. Yeah, saw him on Tinder, and I took a screenshot. Yeah, I reached out saying, I don't know if I'm wrong. I don't know if you guys are broken up, but I just thought you should see this because she had posted him recently. Yeah, and she said, oh my God, thank you so much. And she lived with him, and he happened to be on a business trip at the time. He was like a medical sales guy, and she packed up and left. And I mean, her and I were not friends. We were not close. I wasn't really my place. Yeah, but because of me, she got the proof that she needed, and she left. And there was a fight they had Harry had, and about online, he said he was trying to make friends. Bullshit, right? Whatever. I mean. And I felt like, knowing just from what I see on social media and knowing her, I'm like, I should say something. Yeah. And I felt like she really appreciated that. I think Rula feels attacked by Joellen, but I think if Alicia would be able to say something to her, she might feel like it's coming from a genuine spot. I think the problem is Rula thinks Joellen is a mean girl. Yeah. I think she thinks Joellen's doing it from a mean place. I think Joellen started off trying to be like a girl's girl, and then because Rula was so like much of a bitch to her, she's like, all right, fuck it now. Like, I'm just gonna keep making it like, and she said in her confessionals, my mother called me a liar when I wasn't lying when I was little, so now I have to be like, I'm not a liar, like fuck you, like this is the proof. So I think Joellen now is doing it for herself, to like be like, this is the proof that we need for you to know I'm not a fucking liar. Right. It's no longer her being like a girl's girl, but I think Alicia is like, I don't want to be involved, and like to me that's so cowardly, like when you say you're friends.
But you know what the thing, but also I think like that I think is fair about not wanting to be involved, because I think you like objectively you could be like she's not gonna change her mind. So like, I mean, I wonder, because I don't know what the relationship was all these people before, and it's like, okay, were you in real life bringing this stuff up to her, or did you just like, you guys decided to do a show and then as soon as the cameras picked up, like
it you seemed were like Joellen had been talking about this for a little bit. Well, that's what,
like, I don't, you know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of people who come on these shows who are like, what the fuck? You're doing that with, there's like always talk about like the stuff that gets said in front of the camera versus not, and like the relationships between these women, and like you know there's like sort of that push and pull between, we're real friends, but we got to create drama for the this and that. And so I can understand from like Rula's perspective, if she, but we don't know because she doesn't say anything about it, but like I could imagine she'd be like, all we're going to talk about is this, and I don't want to fucking talk about it, and like every time we're around you have to bring it up. Like, to me it's like a little bit with Joellen, it's like at a point she doesn't want the information, like use your brain and stop. So like then if you're just going to be an asshole, I have this, I have that, I have this, and it's like, because a little bit, right? So the friend who's like friends with the mistress, obviously they must know, like they're feeding information directly to, if this is a good friend of the mistress and the good friend is feeding it directly to Joellen, isn't that really like the mistress like using Joellen or the friend and being like ruin her life and do it on TV kind of, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like Joellen's a little bit of a pawn. She's like, do you want the evidence? I'll get you the evidence. And like they're just willingly handing it over. What kind of mistress like is like, give the pictures to the wife. The one that wants to be on TV. Messy. You know what I mean? The one that wants to be on TV. Like it's just. Well, I mean, I don't know. You shouldn't go on reality TV if you've got this shit going on in your real life.
But the thing is,
and
too,
you don't want it out there because it's gonna come out.
I just think too, the drama around Rula is interesting, but Rula's not interesting.
No, she's not.
She's not. I think
honestly, they could get rid of her next season.
They could. The only reason why she's on is because of the drama,
right?
And because
she's not. She doesn't add anything.
What they have to talk about her, but not her talking about it.
I don't think she has anything to add.
I mean, really. Like literally, her best quality is that they can talk shit about her.
Yeah, right.
Because she gives nothing.
Right.
Like I don't really like her.
Zero, nothing.
No, nothing.
She doesn't give anything.
Yeah, Brian's fine. Right. Like we're gone. Yeah. It's like shut up. No. Like you're a fucking lying.
If they were gonna get rid of anybody, I think they should get rid of her.
The only reason why she's staying is because of the drama. Yeah. Only reason about them being able to talk shit about her. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see the rest of it. I'm sad that it's almost over. I know. It's only 10 episodes normally.
No, it's usually more than that.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we have plenty more. Well,
maybe like 13, 14 usually.
Okay. Because right now they're on 8.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think there's more. I think it'd be more than that.
I'm just so used to watching stuff online. I mean, on Netflix, it's either 8 or 10 episodes.
Let me look it up. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Everything now on is on 8 or 10 episodes. So I'm used to that.
Let's see. How many episodes of Real Housewives are on? They've aired 8, and there's going to be. I really hate when you Google, it goes right to AI now. It annoys the living daylights out of me. Will there be? Let's see. No, it just says, first seasons on Bravo typically run 12 to 14. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So, I would say.
This is kind of before, those probably 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have more to talk about on